You found the podcast, Go Beyond the Brief, where we take a deep dive into the societal currents shaping our lives. Together, we'll explore the often unseen forces at play. We'll examine the research, dissect the data, and most importantly, if you're seeking to understand what's shaping our society, this is the place.
Have you felt it? Walking down a city street lately, and it just feels quieter, even in places you expect to be busy. There's this sense of disconnect. It's odd.
It really is. And what's fascinating, kind of the core puzzle here, is that this is happening even though we're pouring resources into pedestrian infrastructure.
Right, making things more walkable.
Exactly. Like OpenStreetMap saw its biggest jump in mapping footpaths in 2024, almost 10,000 kilometers added.
Wow.
And then you have all these Vision Zero programs in cities aiming to, well, basically eliminate pedestrian fatalities. So The investment is there, but the buzz, maybe not so much.
So that's the paradox we want to tackle in this deep dive. We've pulled together research, data, articles, trying to synthesize what's really going on. We're looking at the economy, social behaviors, the pandemic's role, all of it. Let's try and unpack this thing. Okay, so first up, the economy. It's seen some massive shifts, right? Remote work is a huge one.
Oh, absolutely fundamental.
I mean, the numbers are kind of wild. LinkedIn reported something like a 457% increase in remote job postings between 2020 and 2021.
457%. That's not just a small change. It completely reroutes daily life for millions.
Yeah, fewer people commuting downtown. Public transport's share of commutes apparently dropped from 5% down to just 2.5% by 2021.
Which leads to that whole donut effect idea.
Explain that a bit.
Well, basically, activity and people spread outwards, away from the traditional city center. The core gets a little hollowed out, economically speaking.
So those spontaneous street-level interactions, grabbing coffee, lunch rushes, after-work drinks, they just thin out.
Precisely. They become less concentrated, less predictable.
And it's not just work, is it? It's how we shop, how we eat, e-commerce, all the delivery apps.
Definitely. That's privatized a lot of activity that used to happen in public, on the street. Think about food delivery.
I saw a stat that the average American spends, like $37 a week on it?
Around that, yeah. So instead of going out to a restaurant or cafe, that experience happens at home. Activity moves indoors or maybe to those dark stores.
Delivery warehouses.
Right. And connecting this to, the bigger social picture. Our behaviors are changing, too. We're spending so much more time online.
You see it everywhere.
Pew Research found almost half of teens, 46%, said they were online almost constantly by 2023. That's time not spent outdoors, not in parks, not on streets, just hanging out.
So public spaces become less social.
Kind of functionalized, maybe. We use them more like pathways, like conduits to get from A to B rather than places to linger and interact.
Is there data on that?
Yeah, there is actually.
Yeah.
Some studies showed lingering in public spaces dropped quite a bit, from maybe 43% back in 1980 down to 26% by 2010.
That's a big drop.
And get this, people are literally walking faster. Average walking speed increased about 15% over a similar period. It's about efficiency, not soaking up the scene.
And we have to mention safety, right? Or at least the perception of safety.
Crucial point. If people feel unsafe, rightly or wrongly, they'll avoid certain areas. That creates emptier spaces, which can then feel less safe. It's a cycle.
So we're building these theoretically great walkable spaces.
Right. More footpaths, better crossings.
But people are using them differently. Less lingering, faster pace, maybe more isolation even amidst potential crowds. It's not the urban density causing isolation like old theories suggested, but maybe decentralization and, screens.
And then COVID hit.
Yeah, the accelerator.
Exactly. It was like a massive unplanned experiment that normalized remote work overnight. It supercharged e-commerce, and it made everyone hyper-aware of personal space, of sharing environments.
Those weren't just temporary blips, were they?
Doesn't seem like it. It feels like it genuinely shifted baseline expectations and habits around public life, perhaps permanently.
So bringing it all together, what does this actually mean? This quietness we sometimes feel on the streets. It's not just one thing.
No, it's complex. A result of this deep societal rejigging. How we work, how we shop, how we socialize, it's all shifted. Less central, more digital, maybe more utilitarian in public.
Right. Not just a simple cause and effect.
Which implies that just building walkable infrastructure, while good, might not be enough anymore to create that vibrant street life we perhaps remember or desire.
We need to think beyond just the physical space.
We probably need to address these deeper behavioral shifts, this redefinition of urban life itself that's happened.
Okay, so maybe a final thought for you, the listener. to chew on. If walkable isn't the whole answer anymore, how do our cities need to change? How can they evolve to genuinely re-engage people in public spaces in this, well, this new reality?